We are live. What's going on, guys? It's the Jason J. Daniels Show. We're here live to talk about the big Fever win. Fever go to Seattle and they bust the Storm. They are iconic. No doubt. There's no way you can doubt that the Indiana Fever are on the radar and they look like a championship team. I'm sorry. I didn't think I'd say it this early, but I got to say it now. They have the most iconic duo. You can even say trio with Boston. She got dinged up tonight, but they have the most iconic trio in the WNBA. You can throw trios and duos out there to me, and there's some good ones, but this is a team that has a two-headed dragon and some nights a three-headed dragon, and they can score bunches of points on you. They're just lethal. You can't stop them. Guys, thanks for joining me. I'm Jason J. Daniel. We are live on TikTok and YouTube. It's a late one. It is a late one. This was a West Coast game. It's kind of early for me, Jason, on the West Coast. We've got Desiree. She is our goddess of the chat. Desiree, thank you. It's a late night for her and probably a late night for you. We've got international viewers. Shout out to them. That's right. Angel of the King on TikTok said, Fever all the way. Fever are looking fantastic. And here are your headlines. Boston got hurt but came back. She's going to be okay. Caitlin Clark, 32 more points. She is unflappable. She is unguardable. She took over in the third quarter? Was it the third quarter or the second quarter? I'm lost on what quarter. She took over, and then Kelsey Mitchell, it was her turn to take over in the fourth quarter. Incredible. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing you need to know. They were 100% on their free throws. That was fantastic. We have not seen 100% on their free throws all year, and I've been preaching free throws. I'm so excited to see that. Guys, thanks for joining me. We're going to break it down tonight. We're going to get into a late night game. We know we might not have a massive crowd tonight, but it's okay. We're committed to talk about every Fever game that Caitlin plays in because it's just a lot of fun. We've got some, there it is. We've got our chatters on YouTube. You'll see it pop up here. And we have our chatters on TikTok. We are simulcasting on YouTube and TikTok. Let's get into it. Logic B Emotion. Am I reading that right? Logic B Emotion on YouTube. CC for MVP. 100%, my friend. You're getting me going now. I put in on TikTok, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but a trivia question. Will CC be MVP? She is a top candidate. You can't tell me the Fever do not have two MVPs on this team. Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark. But I'm definitely going to go with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is incredible. She is healthy and she is in her groove. Rebecca Lobo on SportsCenter after the game tonight said essentially just that. Caitlin Clark is now healthy and she is the Caitlin Clark of kind of her rookie year. That was interesting. She said this looks like the end of her rookie year and she is leading this team. And that is the difference. Now, this is what I'm saying, not Lobo. She has got this team, Caitlin Clark, ready to support her. There is mad chemistry. There is love. These ladies are putting together a historic season. They know it. They feel it. They taste it. And this is what you're getting. Angel of the King on TikTok. Mitchell MVP. I like that too. You know what? I'm a big Caitlin guy, but I'm screaming for Kelsey Mitchell. I'm shouting for Kelsey Mitchell. She had some insane plays, some dagger threes. Caitlin was hitting the daggers. I'm okay with Kelsey Mitchell also being in that MVP race, MVP race on YouTube. Anthony Sneed, good to see you again. CC only player who's top 5 in scoring and assists while generating the most points in the league. How's she not number 1 for MVP voting? Well, a couple of reasons why. It's a little early. Second reason why, you have a lot of haters doing this MVP voting. You may not realize that, but it is all media and old school veterans and Hall of Famers that do MVP voting. So when it comes down to it, it's going to be interesting. But Caitlin Clark cannot be denied. If she is denied MVP or at least number 2 in the voting, or maybe she loses by 1 or 2 votes versus 1 versus 2, will know the hatred, the CC derangement syndrome is taking over. But what are you going to do? But I do believe that if she keeps balling out, it's going to be undeniable. They will not be able to deny her. And I will say this as well. If they keep winning, it is a 4-game winning streak. I've got the lucky basketball out, guys. I've got one of the OG basketballs from the first iteration way back 3 years ago when Caitlin hit the scene. This lucky basketball comes out when we're on a winning streak. We're on a 4-game winning streak, baby. You got to rub the lucky basketball, the CCBB. You got to rub that. So I'm feeling good. Look, they have a very favorable schedule moving forward. We'll get into those stats. They had a real easy walkthrough. This was a test. I could tell that Caitlin Clark was just in Caitlin mode, and I could tell that Stephanie White was using some of these opportunities to do a little bit of gearing up for the playoffs. Stephanie White is a mastermind. I know. Here we are. She's winning games. You cannot talk shit about Stephanie White anymore. She's fucking winning. Sorry. She's winning games. Sorry, I should have said fracking. She's fracking winning games. Vanessa Quinez on TikTok, but they may lose to the Lynx. Hey, that's the only team I'm afraid of, but it's going to be a battle. Olivia Miles had another, 24 points? Was it tonight or in their last? Yeah, I think in their last game. So I am looking forward to seeing Miles. I think she is the real deal. She's not as good as Caitlin, but let's see what she can do against the Fever's new tuned-up defense. Billings looks fantastic, by the way, filling in the gap. She had 14 points, had some serious rebounds. She is right where Caitlin wants her. She runs great screens. She is the emergence. She is one of the other secret weapons. The emergence of Billings is taking this team farther than we thought. This team is definitely going to go deep in the playoffs. I do not doubt it. Guys, we are going to, we'll tune it up. Desiree, we will tune it up. So if anybody wants to talk trash, let's spar. I'll spar with you. Guys, we're in double digits on TikTok and double digits on YouTube. I appreciate you guys greatly. I got a favor to ask. Hype this video on YouTube. Go to the bottom. There's a slider. It's free for you. It doesn't cost you a thing. Hype this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please like this video. Every like is crucial. Thank you, guys. On TikTok, Tariq, they have the second toughest remaining schedule. Second toughest remaining schedule. What are you talking about, Tariq? They don't. Okay, they don't have the second toughest. You don't know basketball. I'm sorry. Thank you for your comment, but you're showing me that you're a weakling mentally. You don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. Angel of the King, I remember when Coach White played for the Fever. Yes, way back in the day. She also won a ring as an assistant. So let's see. I got to tell you, I was on the Stephanie White hate train. You can't hate a coach that has these wins and has this team on a 4-game winning streak. And what is significant, it's a long period of time. It's been like 10 days? A winning streak that lasts throughout days, even when you're not playing, is still a powerful thing. It's a message. It's a statement. This team is tuned up. You tell me who can beat this team. This team, maybe the Lynx, maybe Golden State, but this team can beat anybody. Raphael, Mikey on TikTok, Boston has to play Sunday for Fever to beat the Lynx. I don't necessarily agree with you, but I don't disagree with you. I think with Boston, it's a different game. And look what happened when Boston went out. They just went into shooting mode, Caitlin mode, Kelsey Mitchell mode. If you watch the interview after the game, Kelsey said just that. She said they were a little shooken up when Boston went out, but she said we had to mentally adjust. We had to make the change. Anna, good to see you. Anna gives me finger hearts. Thank you, Anna. Good to see you back. JD Foster, you should follow me on TikTok. Kishnu on TikTok. I thank CC for pulling me into the WNBA. Let's go, Fever. That's right. We would not be doing this without Caitlin Clark. So all the hatred, all the weirdos, all the psychos, let's just tune it out. Because a 4-game winning streak, when you have 18 wins, is huge. They're in the pack. They're going to be, 4th or 5th seed right now? They are in the top of the pack. The Storm gave them a little bit of a fit, but they were never close to winning this game. The Storm had no chance. They're a 6-win game. And going into this game, they never had a chance. So the Fever had an opportunity to learn, do some different rotations. I loved what we saw. Kelsey Mitchell was cold. Caitlin was hot. And then Caitlin cooled down. Kelsey Mitchell was hot. And then Caitlin pulled back and just fed Kelsey Mitchell. And Kelsey Mitchell did what she did best, was create opportunities. And by the way, if you just joined me, the Fever, 100% of the free throw line. You know how much that makes me happy. You know I love that. That is a championship thing. That's a thing you got to have in your tool belt. You got to hit free throws. And on top of that, they had 26 opportunities. They almost broke the record. I think it's 27 is what they said. The record would have been 28 made free throws. They got close to the record, but 26 is fantastic. 26 opportunities is huge. And then to cash in, that is mental toughness, mental focus. That's what we need to see. This team is putting it together. They have the defense they needed. It's been 4 games of great defense, maybe 3.5, but fantastic defense. Caitlin Clark is healthy. Kelsey Mitchell is healthy. They're tuned up. They're working together. Boston is working it out. She's not quite healthy, but when she's healthy, that's fantastic. They're hitting their free throws. They're getting their substitutions right. Sophie Cunningham has got to be number 1 for 6th Woman of the Year. It is a really fun show to watch. You can watch them play any team and just dig it, man. Just ride this wave. Tariq is back. 11 road games, 6 left at home against teams. You don't know what you're talking about, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. Winning percentages when it comes to the WNBA doesn't matter because any night, anybody can beat anybody. You're not paying attention. What did you just see on the road? They just won a road game. They had a 5-hour flight, okay, from Indiana, maybe 4. They traveled 500 miles. They had a road game at night, different time zone, and they whooped them. They broke them down. You don't know what you're talking about. The Fever can win on the road. And yes, you have to do it on the road to get deep in the playoffs, and I have faith. I don't know what you're watching, dude. I don't know what game you're watching. You're just a hater. All you want to do is watch the game for 3 minutes and then go on your little phone and find all these stats you can put on Twitter and have people retweet it so you can feel like that you're some sort of a king. But you're a clown because you're lost in stats. But the problem is you don't know what you're reading. If you knew how to read stats, you would be on our team. You would be smarter because you're not reading the stats correctly. You're caught up in things that don't matter. Did I make my point? You got me tuned up. Right. I missed that. Thank you, Angel. Amen. Thank you. I missed that last one. Let's go back to YouTube. Okay, I need to take a drink. Double digits on TikTok and YouTube. We're celebrating the iconic duo, Lethal Weapons. Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark. Okay, parallel post on YouTube. Billings plays like trash half the game. What are you talking about, dude? That is the dumbest. You're just trying to tune me up. What you are writing shows me you didn't watch any of the game. You didn't watch the game. She wasn't lazy in the beginning of the game. And in fact, that disgusts me that you say that. You are not watching the game. You're making it up. Half of these haters that come on here didn't even watch the game. They're just testing us to just try to cause trouble. Rashid Jamar, they won't beat the Valks or the Lynx. That's a fact. It's not a fact. Why would you say it's a fact? What do you know about a fact? Anybody can beat anybody at any time. Yes, they're tough teams, but have you been watching this team play for the last 11 days? Have you seen them tune it up? Did you watch the All-Star game? You didn't, because only Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell pretty much brought it. They're the only ones that want to hit threes. They're the only ones that are taking it serious, and then they came to Seattle, and Caitlin Clark came out in the first 30 seconds, hit a 3, and that set the tone. You're just not paying attention. Tariq, I bet you won't have. No, I'm not going to have you on. You know why? Because first of all, you haven't earned it. Second of all, I don't like you. Third of all, I don't care. There you go. How about that? I don't need you on because I would make you cry. And I don't want to embarrass you in front of your mommy because she's the one holding your phone right now. Let's go to YouTube. I'm having fun. You see, I like to tune you guys up because you're just a bunch of babies when it comes to hating on Caitlin Clark. Let's see here. And the Fever. See, you can't find anything to hate. They can't find anything to hate about, so they're going to make up stuff. These cats don't even know how to read stats. Give me a break, man. It doesn't matter what the winning percentages is of all the teams you're playing. You can't do that today. Who knows what's going to happen next week? I shouldn't even have to. Actually, I should coach you. That's why you watch this. You just got smarter. On YouTube, Anthony Sneed. Sophie needs to start over Hole and give more minutes to Hines over Timpson. You gave me food for thought. Sophie's a great off the bench. I would not start her unless you need to. Look at what she does. Every game she comes off the bench, she just murders that team. She is a tone setter. I don't disagree with her starting, but I don't see there's a reason to have her start. And she brings great defense off the bench. Lexi Hole is she's having a rough go at it. She's rushing her shots. She's getting open shots and rushing them. She needs to take some time, but I understand she's trying to make the most of her minutes. Keep that in mind. I don't have a problem with the starting rotation. And as far as Timpson, I love Timpson. I love Hines. I wouldn't have a problem with either one of them. CC with the blue heart on TikTok. CC and KM up for MVP, 100%. We said that earlier. I would be great with either one of them winning MVP because you know what? They are both MVPs. They can both win games together and without each other. These ladies are putting it together. The chemistry is powerful. CMC84, please follow me on TikTok, my friend. Let's go back to YouTube. Parallel post. You can hate on White because analyze the collapse of the Fever defense, Parallel post said. I'm not going to hate on her. What's the collapse of the defense? I don't know what you guys are. They won by 10, baby. Well, there was a couple of stretches where Seattle cut it close. I mean, what are you talking about? One time they tied it. Come on, man. They had a 20, 15, 30 point. What are you talking about? They're playing There was not a defensive collapse. A defensive collapse is you lost. Come on, man. Part of the problem is you guys just don't know what you're watching. Here's the thing. You watch little clips of ESPN and you regurgitate it like you're an expert. You say stuff that doesn't make sense. You say things that can be correct in the right context, but you just don't know the context. Look, man, I appreciate that you are tuned up to try to make everyone sad and be a buzzkill, but I don't know what you're trying to say by this. Carlton ringing. Billings has been stepping up. What's up, Carlton? Exactly. I like Billings. Billings is just making me so happy. Billings, to me, is really looking like a starter. CC with the blue heart. CC needs to take her shoes back from Studs Buds. Studs Buds, I don't get it, but I get it, right? I think look, everyone should wear CC shoes. I'm going to get some when I get a chance. Everybody should. Guys, we're double digits on YouTube and TikTok. Guys, thank you for the likes on TikTok and YouTube. I really appreciate that. Special K on TikTok says, as long as our offense is better. Sure, look, if you have some defensive lapses, but you're going to get 60 out of your two guards, that's wild stuff, man. And they're both willing to take a back seat for each other. They're both willing to feed each other. It was brilliant. You knew that, look, Caitlin had, 28 or 30. She got her points. You knew that Caitlin, when she came back in the fourth, was going to feed Kelsey Mitchell, and Mitchell fed off that energy and turned it around. This team is a kinetic team, but also a team of vibes. They go up and down, but they're figuring it out. The defense is solid. Look, they smashed Seattle better than remember Seattle took the Fever to the wall last time, right? On the road, they smashed them. It was a dominant beatdown. Seeker 5, Purple Rain, baby. That's right, baby. Purple Rain. I love it. What's up, Seeker? Julio Guevara, thank you for following me. Thank you. Angel of the King, thank you for putting up with my I'm just being nasty tonight. You guys have such a positive attitude. I'm nasty. Double digits on TikTok and YouTube. I'm just having a good time, man. So many cool things going on in sports. What's kind of making me I'm freaking out a little bit because the last 30 days of the WNBA is going to coexist with the start of NFL. So it's going to be a lot of lives. We might be going live every day. I don't know if I can do it. Secret 5, the gauntlet of opponents is coming. We'll see. I feel that. Look, I think they have a favorable schedule. And the reason why I say that is because they're putting it together and everyone is afraid of them. Plus, here's the other thing that's really great. At the second half of the season, you've played some of these teams a few times, right? Now, that's an advantage for Golden State. They haven't played the Lynx. I don't even think they played them once, right? So that's going to be interesting. We'll see. But who knows? Who knows? The Fever could work them. Or it could be a very tight game. But either way, you cannot guarantee the Fever are going to lose. You can't guarantee a win. This is a great environment to be in. I didn't expect us to be here right now. I didn't. I thought they'd really struggle with Stephanie White. CC with a blue heart on TikTok. Only because Heidemann played great wearing her shoes tonight. Heidemann played really well. At first, I wasn't buying it. But then when she came back, I think it was after the Kelsey Mitchell foul, and they reviewed it. I'm like, really? And then she came back and hit another one on the wing. She's the real deal. I think they should trade her in the offseason, and they can, right now while she's hot, trade her and bring in some help because this team is so bad. They're really bad. That whole charade of them playing really jittery defense at the end for 3 minutes was the most rookie shit you could ever do. That's bad coaching. It's ridiculous. Someone's going to get hurt. No one on that team's going to score 9 to 10 points in 3 minutes. It's not happening. So that team is just really, really got a bunch of amateurs and a bunch of players that are streaky. They need to make a big trade. Robert Lee, what's up, my friend? Mike Butt, good to see you. Mike Butt, follow me. Hi. Seeker 5, Heidemann looks pretty legit to me. 100%. That's why she's got trade value. No one on that team. I guess I'm just getting into trade talk because the trade deadline's coming up, in like 3 weeks or something? But nobody on that team is tradable. That's why it's such a garbage team. But Heidemann is. You can't build around that player. She's not a star. You can't build around her. She's streaky. But if she continues to have these kind of numbers, she is tradable. And they should make a trade if they really want that team to succeed. Joshua Glover on YouTube. What's up, my friend? You sent me a gold coin. Thank you, my friend. Hey, you're keeping me alive. I feast off the gold coins. Carlton Ringing. I don't think she was wearing CC shoes. I'm just going with it. I didn't quite connect. I didn't notice it, but I'm going with it. So there you go. Mr. Robert Lee, I salute you, Mr. On TikTok, the Fever are rolling. They are rolling. That's why we're doing late night talk. It's late night on the East Coast. It's late night in other countries. We have international viewers, so I love to go late after. I don't like to go late. Nobody wants, it's nice to go late, but I like to just take advantage of the fact that people want to talk about it. Now, tonight, guys, tonight is joust night. What that means is if you jump in and you're a hater, we won't take you out. I will talk to you, but I'll be nasty to you, so get ready. And don't get personal, okay? If you get personal, I'll get personal. I guarantee I'll make you mad, and then it becomes a thing. So just keep it fun, okay? And if I tell you you're wrong, then you have to joust me. And I'm not bringing anybody in on the show right now. So that's what people like to do. They try to make you mad, then they want you to bring them on. I'm not going to do that. I'm not equipped to do that. I can, but I'm not bringing people on. But by the way, we're going to try to bring some of you guys on during the playoffs. So we'll figure that out. Okay. CC with a blue heart. We need a backup for AB. Well, that's interesting. It really is interesting. You know, what is interesting is Dantas should be the backup, but we have not seen Dantas. That's why I think they're going to trade her. She's been on the bench for most of this winning streak, and have you noticed they're winning without her? So teams are superstitious like that, and who knows? She might have just really pushed herself out of the rotation by being late for practice or just not giving effort. I think Dantas is trying to get moved. I think they're going to ship her, and if they do, maybe they'll get a big person. I do think they need defensive help. If they make a trade, defensive help. Did you notice tonight? I know I've talked about a trade with you guys, and some of you guys have told me I'm crazy. But this is not a perfect team. Every team should have the ability to try to work a trade. That's sports. You can't let the trade deadline go by without trying to test the waters. I think Dantas is that person. But my thing is they need defense. The announcers were saying that maybe a swing person. The announcers were talking about the Fever making a trade. You know why? Because they are that close to being unstoppable. Trust me. I know basketball. This team is a championship team. They're playing at that caliber. You tell me who else is playing at that caliber, and I'll say, okay, are they better than the Fever? You will not be able to say they are. You can say Golden State has better defense, but you can't say they're better. Dallas has a similar record. They have good offense, but you can't say they're better. The Fever are in the hunt. They're just as good as any other team. Joshua Glover, I got to tell you, thank you for the gold coins, my friend. Shauna Cross. Yes, that's right, Shauna. Caitlin is off minutes restriction. Good to see you on YouTube. Secret 5, I think Malanga is a good young player. I'd build around her. Yeah, she was hurt, right? And she's the one that got the dunk. She is, yes, definitely. Build around her. She's a keeper, okay? And it's hard to get big players that are that athletic. You got to keep her. But Heidemann, honestly, guards that shoot threes, they're everywhere, right? But she is playing at a high clip where she has value. Sometimes you got to make a sacrifice. Brad Larkins, was Raven MIA tonight? She was on the bench. Ty Harris got the minutes instead. I think it's when it comes to that kind of thing, I think Stephanie White just goes with the best matchups, which, I think she's trying. Also, I think she's heard the criticism about the over-the-top rotations, and I don't think she's trying to make a big deal out of the rotations. I think she's trying to tune it up going to the playoffs. That's the work that you do. Everything Stephanie White is doing is working towards the playoffs. Did you notice when Caitlin Clark was in for the last 2 minutes? And I'm like, why aren't you sitting her down? There's no point. But Stephanie White was taking advantage of some of the timeouts and the stop-and-go play. Seattle was pushing the tempo. That's amateur stuff. You don't let your team do all this jittery defense for the last minute and a half and try to make a thing of it when you're down by 10. That's dumb. It's amateur hour. But Stephanie White took advantage of that, and she kept the starters in, and I could tell she was working on some inbound stuff and some how to break up the press. So I was interested in what she was doing. CC with the blue heart on TikTok. I'm not sure Dantas is able to keep up with the fast offense. That could be a brilliant observation. That could be it. Her style is definitely more of a slow style, and who knows? You just never know. But I think she's tradable. Shauna Cross, thank you again for joining. Carlton Ringing. If the whole team on YouTube, double digits on both YouTube and TikTok, if the whole team keeps gelling the way they have been, they could go all the way. Tentatively optimistic. That's exactly right. I started off by saying this team has championship potential. One of the things that really got me super hyped was they were 100% on free throws. They've never been 100%. They were dialing it in. And the cool thing about it is they got 26 opportunities at the stripe. Caitlin is driving to the hoop. She's not complaining, but she's getting calls. Have you noticed? She's getting calls. Tonight, she was getting superstar calls. Now, against a weaker team, you're going to get that because that's how it works. If you get to the stripe, you work hard, you make it happen, you do some athletic stuff, you're going to get rewarded. And I love Caitlin's new attitude of driving to the bucket and not complaining unless she needs to. But I love what we're seeing. She is dialed in. Secret 5 on TikTok. Heidemann proves she can play with a hangover. Yeah. Yeah, I can too. All right, but I choose not to. Some nights I do not drink on purpose, guys. But I'll tell you this. Here's the thing. Promise. Here's my promise. We're going to have a bottle of whiskey. And every playoff win, we're taking shots, okay? We are celebrating every playoff win because this has been a brutal season. Now, we still got 16 games or something. We got some time, but that's my promise to you. Shauna Cross, Lynx and Valks are the real test. True, I agree with that. Now, I think the Valks are the tougher test because we've seen what they can bring. I want to see some Lynx against the Fever. That's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, thank you for the coins. You can now give me gifts on YouTube, by the way, if you can be a member if you want. Also, hype this video. Slide that hype. It's free. You can hype 3 videos a week. If you hype my video, it's like pushing it to the For You feed, the For You feed for new viewers. And a like also does that too. So thank you. A like is amazing. Also, if you guys come back to the live stream after and make a comment, that counts as well to the algorithm. Thank you. Shauna Cross, no, KK is better than MHA. Yeah, I mean, I'd go with KK. I think it's situational. I think, MHA is a little stockier, right? So kind of tougher against some of the larger forwards. But look, what she loses in height, she makes up in agility, and she can drain that three. She hit a three tonight. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Everyone's contributing defensively and offensively. I love that. Spite-filled lungs. That is a terrifying name on TikTok. I heard Fee just came back too. Links are insanely stacked. Yeah, yes, she just came back, but there's conversations about she may not stay because of her contract situation. So that's interesting, right? But who knows? They're on a run. Olivia Miles has been the difference. Without her, maybe they'd have a worse record. And that's kind of an MVP thing. She definitely is looking a rookie of the year. I don't see why she wouldn't get it. So on what you said, I can't disagree, but let's see how it goes chemistry-wise. But it's going to be a fun game, right? Shauna Cross, CC on YouTube. CC and KM will ball. Mo, Sophie, KK are the real X factor for AB out. Yeah, Sean, I can see that. Now, AB, look, she was standing up and clapping, so I think she may take a day off again. But I was really concerned. That was a brutal hit to the ground, and I wanted to blame the Storm player that tripped her up, but it was contact. It happens. But I got to tell you, this was a game that was a hustle game, very physical in a good way. This is the kind of physical game that I'm okay with. You could still see skillful moves. You saw great strips. You saw people playing fantastic defense. You saw Billings was sky high for some of the rebounds. Like, there was some energy in this building. And I think the Fever will play better on the road than you expect because they just have that energy. Plus, sometimes it's like a home game. Somebody earlier was saying the Fever have 11 games on the road, and that's a bad thing. Caitlin Clark is an international brand. She's got people everywhere in the stands. Some of these road games will be like home games, like Vegas. Secret 5, I believe that the Valks need favorable officiating to win. Well, the thing, I agree with that to a certain point. The thing with the Valks is they will just drive to the hoop. They drive to the hoop. They look for your weaknesses. They're relentless, and you're going to get a lot of whistles, right? And you're going to make it tough on the refs. Joshua Glover, 8 gold coins for you, bro. Thanks for the stream. Joshua, thank you, my friend. All of that means so much. Thank you, man. And you're setting the tone. Thank you so much, man. It goes a long way. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll try to follow you if you have a chat. If you have videos, I'll follow you. Thank you. Robert, W4, great game. Yes, sir, on YouTube. Spite-filled lungs. That is a terrifying name. On TikTok, I feel that Olivia Miles isn't guarded like she should be the way she does layups. Let's see here. Should be easy picks. Yeah, in the beginning, sure. I think she had some games where they were laying off her just to kind of see what she could do. But I think she's had some tougher games. They are guarding her a little closer. But let's see. It's really hard to say. I do think there's a lot of pride. So I do think when it comes down to crunch time, when you're starting to fight for playoff position, I have a hard time feeling that teams that are competitive were going to let her just get easy buckets. Secret 5 on TikTok. I like KK a lot. It's fun to see her grow up. I thought she looks like a grown woman, but I guess we're on the same page. Sure. Let's see here. Carlton Ringing says, right, Jason, the officiating has seemed more fair as of late. CC definitely getting more calls. 100%. And you know what I liked? Is that there were 2 calls that the announcers were like, oh, I don't know about that. And the crowd was like, boo. And Caitlin just stepped up and drained them. That's what you want to see. You want to get boos on the road because you're getting calls that people are mad about. Now the tide is turning. That's what you want to see. That's the Jordan rules. It's the Clark rules. That's how it goes. She earns it. Look, she got to still hit the free throws, right? Now, if she can finish more 3-point plays, it's going to be even more lethal. But man, Caitlin, she just had a monster game. I don't know what else to say. It's just, I'm so excited to see that she's good for 11 or 9 in the first quarter. And then she's on pace for 30 and she gets it. Not to mention the assists. It's crazy. Jerry Berthold on YouTube. The team is better without Metheny White. Metheny White. Such a bore head coach. He never plays to CC strengths. Okay, look. Metheny is starting to turn me over, okay? Well, that sounded weird. Let me say that in a different way. Metheny White is starting to bring me back. Look, a 4-game winning streak against the schedule they've had is no picnic, and that's not anything to discount. But let me read this comment. Spite-filled lungs. Paige doesn't hold the ball out on a platter though. OM just holds the ball out. I feel you. I'll pay more attention to but see, that ball thing's a style too, right? Everyone's got a style, right? And look, Olivia Miles, I got to tell you, after watching her in the All-Star game, she can pass that ball almost like Caitlin. She's very close to Caitlin-like. She just doesn't have the strength and the distance that Caitlin has, but Olivia Miles has got she's so fast with the passes. So I think when you're seeing her do these kind of things, I think she's just very confusing to the defense, and she has a lower center of gravity that makes a difference for some of these quicker players. Back to Jerry on Metheny. Stephanie White is proving a lot to me, and she's standing up to the heat, and they're winning. So keep winning, and there's nothing I can say about it. If she starts losing and arguing with Caitlin Clark, it's a problemo. Earlier, remember when Caitlin was like, she got an offensive foul for not doing anything, and Caitlin was like, review it. I was upset at Stephanie, not because Caitlin didn't get what she wanted, but because you have to show because they were already up by 10 or something. And I think Stephanie was like, it doesn't matter, but in the first quarter, but you've got to send a message to a team that you're going to do whatever it takes to score on them anytime. You have to be vicious. I did not like that. I'm like, just use it. Just do it. Send a message. You would have gotten a reverse, and even if you didn't, it would have given your team a break, and it would have sent the message that, yes, we are petty. We want points in the first quarter. Yes, we're going to run a challenge in the first quarter, and it confuses the other coaching staff when you do a challenge at a time they wouldn't expect. You have to be unpredictable. But because this offense is unstoppable, they're untouchable, Stephanie can get away with coaching mistakes. Anna, good to see you again. Of course, I saw you earlier. Wasn't the biggest fan of Stephanie White, Anna, on TikTok, but she's letting Cece do her thing. 100%. That's also really important. She's letting Caitlin Clark just do her thing. No minutes restriction. And she also left Caitlin in at the end of the game. And I was a little confused, but then I noticed, okay, she's working out some of the things. So even though they were not losing and they had a 10-point lead, I can see Stephanie was using that opportunity to work out quick scenarios when you don't have a lot of time in the fourth quarter. I think she probably brought them together and said, let's pretend we're down. Let's use this as a coaching opportunity. And because I could tell them all, I could see that the ladies were going out focused, right? Because they were coached. And I'm seeing the wheels turning. Caitlin Clark's wheels are turning after talking to Stephanie. That's a great sign. Instead of her eyes rolling back in her head and like doing the 24-year-old, tantrum, the millionaire tantrum, she's thinking about what her coach is telling her. Those nuances are powerful for a playoff team that can hit their free throws. My name is Furchie on YouTube. Guys, thanks for joining. Double digits on YouTube and TikTok. We're simulcasting on both. We're almost at an hour, so let's just ride this baby. By the way, it's Joust Tuesday, so just throw it at me. Desiree's going to let you attack me. My name is Furchie. Fever do have second most difficult schedule remaining. This cat wrote this in all caps. He wrote this in all caps. What is your problem? Do you want me to tell you you're right? You're wrong because you don't know. Here's why you're wrong. I hear you, but you don't know how the teams are going to do by the time you get to them. When you talk about tough schedule, here's a trivia. When is it appropriate to talk about a tough schedule? Before the season starts. That's when it's appropriate. You can look at the schedule and say, oh, this is going to be a tough one. But as you play the season out, you can't look at the next 10 games and so say this is the toughest schedule in the W because you don't know what percentages are from day to day. Any team can beat any team. You have injuries. You have all sorts of things that can happen. What if Caitlin gets a technical and she's not in the Lynx game, right? Right? So that changes things. So, you just can't. I don't know why you guys are so hung up on that. It also is you just haven't watched a lot of sports. Because if you watch a lot of sports, that doesn't matter. And how about this? Bring it on. If it's a tough schedule, that's what I want. Because the haters need more and more, I guess, proof. They need more and more truth to be shown to them, and Caitlin's doing it. She is beating every obstacle. Just bring it on. So I don't know what you're worried about. Recon 1558, but Boston injury is scary. It is scary, but look what they did tonight. And I'll be honest with you, they lose rebounding, but they have a freewheeling style. Now, yes, they played against a 6-win team that were letting the Fever get open shots, and the Fever happened to be hitting their shots. So, yes, the magic was happening, but that's sports, that's basketball. And look, Seattle tried to at least play some kind of defense. They kept it kind of competitive. So there's going to be definitely tougher defensive assignments, and you would need Boston when you're playing tougher teams. So I agree with you. But look, Billings is doing a great job. I can't complain. Billings gave you 14 points tonight. I'll look at the points. Billings, here it is. Fever. Billings gave you, here's what Billings gave you. Billings gave you 14 points, 4 of 6 shooting, and she was 6 for 6 from the stripe. That could be Boston type numbers. So, but Boston did it 11. So yes, look, she's a first round draft pick and she is an all-star, 4-time all-star, something like that. So yes, you need Boston, but I think they can work it out. Let's see here. Shauna Cross, champ potential, just need one more piece, role player. I agree with that. I think they need something else, but if not, they're just going to have to gut it out with good defense. They're playing really good defense, and that's infectious. Shauna on YouTube, thank you. Carlton Ringing, isn't Raven injured currently? I'm unclear on that. If she is, If she is, I missed it, but no one mentioned it, and I didn't get a chance to see the injury report. So maybe that's why Ty got the minutes. But I also think Ty has more experience, and so I think if you're talking playoffs, Ty Harris is going to play backup more than Raven would anyway. Shauna Cross, Fever, Carney out nasty, then totally rattled because AB went out, Cisa took over, and they all slowly got the groove back. Yeah, that was tough. It's tough when your friend goes down and she's hurt. It's tough. There's a lot of things that go into that. And in the press conference after the game, Kelsey was saying that very same thing, that they were kind of discouraged and they had to get it back after she got hurt because that looked pretty nasty. And she'll probably have a serious bruise and she might take a day off, but who knows? But AB's tough. She's having some problems with the sticks this year. That's a thing. Cassie on TikTok. What do you think about AB is badly out? We're in transfer portal code. Should we be looking for a big? That's interesting. I just kind of addressed that a little bit earlier. When you say transfer portal, do you mean trade deadline? I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. You tell me what kind of bigs are out there on the trading block. That's the question, right? If you got another big, it'd have to be somebody probably younger, right? Somebody who's willing to learn. I'm not sure. And it's really hard to trade and let go and draft big players. They're a commodity. I think they're going to have to make do with what they have. Now maybe they'll get some sort of a veteran in a trade. That's possible. But I don't know about that. I think that they need some defense and that could come in any way, shape or form. But Boston came out, was sitting on the bench. She was cheering. She was even standing up. So I don't think her injury will be too problematic. It looked bad. Thank you, Cassie, for agreeing with me. Yeah, you tell me, right? Who's out there on the block? And then just even the trade rumors that were out today are just pointless. There really isn't any movement. But here's two issues with that. One, everybody's capped out. They only have like a $7 million cap. There's no space. And they have shorter rosters. We saw that last year when the Fever had to do emergency exceptions. These rosters aren't stacked like other pro teams. It's a very lean and mean, league. I do predict that next year they may open up more roster spots because they're opening up more games, and that's that, and more. They're expanding. Also, they're expanding. They'll have more teams next year. That will also open up more trade opportunities. But there really isn't. I mean, the truth is, a lot of these older players are mediocre. You're really going to have a couple of years where new talent's going to have to fill in the gaps. CC with the blue heart on TikTok. Great comments tonight. You guys are amazing. Seeing AB in tears scared me. It was that serious. Yeah, CC with the blue heart. That was, I stood up and was I was getting emotional. I get emotional really easy. As you can tell, I'm very passionate. So I was feeling a little emotional. I was like, that does not look good. And I was thinking in my mind, God damn it, I don't want to be talking about AB's serious injury all night tonight because that's all we're going to be talking about. That would be a buzzkill, but she looks okay. Kevin B, it's good to see Kevin. Kevin B is like a world traveler, goes everywhere on cruises, but Kevin B on YouTube takes time out of his busy, fantastic schedule to chime in. So let's read what Kevin B says. Kevin, I still haven't bought the Kelsey Mitchell jersey. I'm going to. Jason Fever are not winning as a big two. They had a big three, but all right. You know what? Pinier, I'm still trying. I don't know if Pinier, you saw her scoring on the perimeter. She wasn't playing in the block. And remember that second game, she got totally worked on the block. So she's not the answer. Kevin says AB sets as many screens sitting on a bench as we. Are you a comedian? That's very funny. No, she sets fantastic screens, my friends. Kevin B also says, last one for Kevin right now, because I need a break. I want CC to get a tech on Friday and hurt the league money. I am an agent of chaos. No doubt you are. You clearly are an agent of chaos on this live. All right. You've been heard, Kevin B. Seeker said on 5, I don't think they can afford a decent big. Well, they can't afford anything because they're capped out. So it'd have to be a trade that was kind of like mid-level, like $500,000, maybe $750. I don't think they have the cap room. I mean, if they were doing a trade across for someone that's got $1 million contract, which would be a good trade, you tell me who could make that deal. And if they're that good, they're not getting traded, right? Let's see here. Anna, thank you again for the finger hearts on TikTok, double digits on TikTok and YouTube. We're wrapping up. Shauna Cross said Steph White has surrendered. She even said she's playing team like second half of 2024. Splash Sisters back. Stephanie, she's a wicked genius right now. I got to tell you, she's nasty. I really wish I could complain about her because it makes, honestly, the more I complain, the more you guys watch, but I can't complain in good conscience. If they lose in a blowout, then that's coaching. If they have a 20-point lead and lose it again, that's coaching. There's certain things that I can point at, but at this point, the coaching is working. CC with the blue heart on TikTok. CC probably needs to get her flagrant foul out of the way now. You know, I thought she might do it tonight because I thought if there's ever a game to get thrown out of, it'd be tonight. But I tell you what to look for. Okay, I think this is how it's gonna go. I think it would be a nationwide game. Now, they're all broadcast nationwide, but I think it'd be like a weekend game, okay? And I think it'd have to be a game where she's kind of struggling, right? She's maybe 8 points in the third quarter, right? Not a big night. And then if she gets tossed, not a big deal, right? So I look for that. Look, she's strategic. That's what I look for. But I thought tonight, when she had such a dope first quarter, I thought she's not going to get tossed. But we are on Caitlin toss watch for sure. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. CC with the blue heart said true. Thank you. Carlton Ringing came back. Or maybe you were always here, my friend. You ever consider doing watch-alongs for the games, Jason? Carlton, great question. I'm considering it. Yes, I actually have been thinking about how I will do it. But here's my biggest problem. I love watching the game loud and on my big TV, right? I'm in it. And I feel like if I did it, I'd have to turn the sound off, right? And we'd have to do like I'd have to watch it, but also it'd have to be a silent play-by-play because I can't get copyrighted, right? So maybe we'll pick a game where I will sacrifice my pleasure of watching it on the big screen to set up right here. I can set a smaller TV up or something or a computer and watch it here. I'd love to do that. And I think it would be actually great for the channel. You got to mix it up. So thank you for your feedback. And I actually was watching other YouTubers and was inspired. It's not an original idea, but I thought, oh, wow, I'd like to do that. So it's been in my wheelhouse. And actually, I considered trying it for tonight's game because I thought, well, it's the Storm, But I think it might be more interesting for a more intriguing game, right? So thank you. And I will definitely announce it when I do it. I'll post it. I will post it on TikTok, or I will post it, guys, the community on my page. If you haven't seen it, I post updates on the community and like little facts and memes and stuff about the game and sports. I also put my updates. So if I do it's inevitable. I'll put it on there, but I'll try to do it in the next few weeks. Forever a Swiftie is putting up our sub info, guys. Time for the commercial. If you want to be part of our fantasy league, and if you want to be have an instant chat to me, want to be notified of the lives, subscribe $2.99 on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Subscribe $2.99. It's the best $2.99 ever. And if you like sports, we're just going to have one hell of a fantasy league. We're already going to start. We're going to try it maybe next week, start doing NFL shows in between because NFL's cooking. Carlton Ringing said, sweet, I tune in. Thank you, sir. This is what you'd see. I'd be talking, I'd be going crazy, and then I'd just be talking about what I'm seeing and all those things. So yes, I would provide as much insight as I could, and that would be a lot of fun. And then what would be cool is we'll sign off and then restart maybe an hour later. We'll do a live after we've taken a break, and we'll break the game down and see how that works. So thank you for your inspiration. Kevin B, I watch the games on mute. Can't stand the commentators. I do too, my friend. No joke. Most of the time, whenever they have Angel Gray or whoever, let me just tell you a story about something you don't care about. I mute her. No way. And when they had Heidelman on with the headset during the game, first of all, I think that's the worst shit you could ever do, was put a headset on and split screen somebody. I hate that shit. We're trying to watch the game, so I always mute it. I hate that shit, so I'm with you on that. Kevin B and I have a similar personality, I think. Forever a Swiftie is putting in the football icons. If you're a member on YouTube, TikTok, you can use icons. Robert Lee, let's talk about, Robert Lee sent me a journey pass. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Robert. Robert sent me 6 gifts today on the old TikTok. Thank you. Guys, we're at 6 new followers on TikTok. 10 is our goal for every night. 4 more would be cool. Gilbert, if you're watching, follow me. Christian, thank you for following me almost 2 years ago. That's so cool. Kevin B, AB said, I read that. Kevin B, defense focus on CCKM. Billings got the free lane to basket. Hey, we'll take it, dude. We'll take it. That's basketball. I did enjoy that Billings knows how to put the ball in when it's time. She got 14 points. And I know you're telling me to stop gassing up Billings, but I'm not going to stop gassing up her. 14 points as a bench player or as a starter when you're not consistently starting is nothing to shake a stick at. Let's see here. Toss watch. That's right, Anna. We're on Caitlin Toss watch. She's trying to get tossed. We should do a Caitlin Toss watch countdown. Like how many days since Caitlin's been technical? AB highest paid player. Kevin B says AB highest paid player equals biggest underachiever. Well, my friend, her stats are very solid for the year, and she was an all-star, and she's had some monster games. I think you might be undervaluing and underachieving on your assessment. Take a look at her numbers and think about the impact she makes when she's not there. Shauna Cross says AB is a good match for Asia. Yes, I got to tell you this. Without AB, you're not winning that game against the Las Vegas. That's a really astute point. Thank you, Shauna. We're going on 3. We got 3 minutes till the hour. Let's see what we got going here. Kevin B. I can't believe we pretend Lexi Hull doesn't average 0 points per game. Kevin B, for some reason you're obsessed with not liking my Lexi Hole, so I need you to stop. Let's see here. She had 0 points, true. She had 3 rebounds, and you're right, she had a really terrible stat line. I cannot disagree with that. She had a tough night, but they had a big win. They had a great game. And her bad stats did not hurt them. So I feel you. I feel you on this one. Not a good stat line for her, but it wasn't like they lost a close game. So, and look, Lexi Hole is a gamer. She's played very well over the last 2-3 years for the Fever. I believe in Lexi Hole. And I'm not pretending she doesn't average 0 points a game. She doesn't have a high average, but I'm not pretending. I was honest. You have a good point tonight, but she is a gamer. I mean, remember, was it last year? She had a game with 6 threes, so she can shoot the lights out. Anna B says, but Lexi always hustles. 100% on TikTok, 100%. The defensive presence and the hustle cannot be denied. I love watching her play, and you can tell there's a different tone when she's in there. I like to see her in there with different combinations. But you don't depend on her for scoring. The truth is, dude, you have the 2 lethal weapons scoring a combined 60 points tonight. There you go. 60 points. You don't need Lexi Hole's offense, but you do need her defense. Carlton Ringing. Lexi's impact usually doesn't show up in the stats, though. 100%. But I will be, look, I'll be fair and say, yeah, she had a bad stat line night. If you watch the game, you'd be like, what? But here's the kicker. She played 17 minutes. She was effective defensively. They played great defense. So hats off to her. You don't play 17 minutes with a bad stat line if you're not making some kind of a difference and you still win. Makes sense? So Carlton's right. And look, I will defend Lexi Hole all day. She's a brilliant businesswoman and just a stand-up player. She's a role model for the babies, okay, and for everyone. So as a person, she's fantastic. That's the kind of people you want on a team. She had a tough night on the stat line, but her defense was solid. Anna B, Anna. Am I saying Anna B? Anna 08. Sorry, I got Kevin B. Anna, Kevin B. Fever have 2 scoring threats. Lynx have all 5. Kevin B. Are you trying to make me chug my Powerade with Fury? Making me mad. You're making me mad, my friend. Look, have you been watching this team? They're all scoring threats. Should I run through it? How about this? Who's not a scoring threat on this team? And don't say Lexi Hole because she can light it up. Who's not a scoring threat? Everybody scores. Hines Allen hits a 3 tonight. Everybody scores. Mo Billings had 14. Sophie came in and she was on fire with the threes. Like, there were so many great offensive moments. I don't know what you're talking about. This team is everyone contributes offensively. Rion Izaldo, thank you, Rion, for joining us on TikTok. Do you think the Fever need to make any trades ASAP? The answer is yes. I've been saying it more than once. I think Dantas hasn't been playing, so I think Dantas is probably getting shopped. She's the only one that has value that really they're probably not invested in. Her style just probably doesn't fit with the faster style. I mean, they're playing a fast-paced style right now. So I do think they need to make a trade for defensive purposes if they can. If not, they have a solid team, and you'll be looking at some movement in the offseason but I think they should take advantage of the trade deadline. Thank you. That was a really great question. Thank you. And then Rion said, if so, who should they acquire and trade and exchange? Again, that's tough. We were saying one of the things I was saying earlier was because she's a large forward, right? How many large forwards, and I'm just saying she's your trade person, how many large forwards are out there? Who really is out there being shopped? I guess Kelsey Plum, they're saying she's not going to, the rumor came out today, she's not staying this year. She's looking for another team. It's just because they probably, look, she's banged up. She's older. She's a veteran. She's kind of, who knows, right? So that could mean that she wants to go to the Fever. Who knows? Everybody wants to go to the Fever, I think, especially if they go deep. But back to the trade issue. It's hard to say who's on the block. There isn't a lot of attractive trades right now. I don't really think we'll see any monster trades. But the Fever could trade for draft picks. That's I would be doing that too. Because look, Dantas is sitting on the bench. You got Hines Allen, you got Billings, you've got fill-ins. Now, if AB continues to have a knee issue, maybe Dantas, you keep her just in case. Because she's a gamer. She can play. So, Steve Tapp, why they won 4 in a row? I don't know why they won 4 in a row. Maybe because they play basketball good. I don't know. I couldn't help myself. All right, it's getting crazy. I'm being mean to people. Let's see what else is in here. Desiree, you're great. By the way, Desiree got us the chat. She's dope. We're in double digits on YouTube. Kevin B, Plum instead of Lexi Hill. Okay, Kevin B liked that. He liked what I said. Finally, Kevin liked something I said. All right, Kevin, I'm doing this for your approval. Look, I would love to see them bring Kelsey Plum to the Fever next year. I think she'd take a pay cut to play on the Fever. I think she would. We all believe that they made a play for Caitlin Clark because the rumor is out there that LA is shopping. LA is looking at potential trades. LA is really working. They're making moves. So everybody knows LA is trying to make some changes. But maybe we know that there was a rumor out there, a strong rumor that had heat on it that they were trying to get Caitlin during the upheaval. Clearly, Caitlin is working it out. The Fever, it's coexisting. She's staying clearly, and she has an extension for next year. Maybe Kelsey Plum's like, hell, I'll go to Indiana. Why wouldn't I go there? I mean, I got to tell you, Kelsey Plum and Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell on the same team would be dope. And look, Kelsey Plum is a player that doesn't need a lot of minutes or a lot of stats. She's already done it. She's a Hall of Famer. She's probably just wanting to have a nice, fun ride, make some cheddar, and get another ring. If the Fever don't win the championship this year, I know I shouldn't be saying this. I don't know why I'm saying it, but let's just say if they don't, then you're looking at another, hopefully, one game away from the finals again. That would be disappointing, but I'll take it. After the rough start, I thought they were cursed this season, and Caitlin's healthy. She stays healthy. Sky's the limit, but I'll take a finals appearance. I don't want to lose, but I'm just saying if they go, my point is if they have a good run, then you're going to attract some really great free agents. KJ, yes, love to have Plum for top 3 college scorers. Love to have Plum top 3 college scorers. I think, yeah, I think we're on the same page with that. Yes, I agree with you. Shauna Cross, Brink to Fever. Oh man, I love Cam, but I you know why I wouldn't make, if I was the GM, I would not make that trade because her legs are so frail, and she's had too many leg injuries for her age, and I predict she'll be retiring early, maybe in the next couple of years. She just is very tall, and it's a lot of wear and tear, and a lot of travel, and it's just tough. But I'd take Cam. She's amazing. I think she'd be a real positive force on this team. Rian, thanks for hanging in there on TikTok. They should win it this year, and KP would be a great addition. We cannot disagree with what you just said. Look, Kelsey Plum and Caitlin have a good relationship, and I who knows? Look, if you were working with somebody you liked and they were on a different team, you'd try to work with them, try to get them over. Kevin B said they won't unless they make a move before trade deadline. Oh, you mean go deep? I can't disagree with that. That's why I want to move. I want to move. That's why I want to see a trade move. One of the reasons why I think we should see this is, here's why it's important for a team to make a trade at the deadline, even though they're a strong team. 2 reasons. One, it sends a message to everyone. You're all on the block. Anybody can be traded. It shakes shit up. It sends a message to everybody. This is real. And it cuts all the bullshit about we're just friends. And you see who's really in this to win, because it's about winning. It's not about friends. It's about winning. So a GM making a trade to shake it up is an important thing. And 2, I think that their defensive thing that's going well right now is temporary. And so I think that we're looking at some tough defensive nights again, unless they can really continue to sustain this. And that takes a lot. So I think a trade that's someone who's defensive minded, that's not, plus you bring somebody on the team that's new, they don't need the ball. No more rock. You can't share it. That's going to help everybody else feel better knowing this is our defensive stopper, right? So I haven't seen many defensive stoppers in the W, but I'd like to see one come aboard. And somebody, fresh and young, and that's, hungry. Kevin B, Fever winning because Dantas isn't sabotaging. Look, she's on the bench and she hasn't played during the streak, and I can't argue with that. Look, when she went to play for Brazil, was it last year in the middle of the season? That just pissed me off. I was like, look, I know. Look, go to Brazil and play there, or you stay on the Fever. It's pro sports. This is the league. This is where championships are. This is history. So I was not cool with that. I'm not against somebody supporting their country, but you got to make a choice. And I'm not cool with that. I just was not happy with that. So ever since then, I had a bad taste in my mouth, because that's not sacrificing. You need to sacrifice. Everybody's got to sacrifice to win a championship. Kelsey Mitchell's been sacrificing. Caitlin Clark sure as hell has been sacrificing. Lexi Hull is now feeling the sacrifice where she's not getting the numbers. And Sophie's sacrificing by all the hatred she's getting from the psychos, right? Everybody has to. Stephanie White's been paying a price. You cannot win anything without paying a price. You must feel the pain. You must sacrifice. Championships do not come easy. And if things are happening easy, you should worry. And so this team has really paid a serious price to get to this place, and it's paying off. Rian says, yeah, Fever still need to work on their defense. 100%. They have a fantastic offense, but it doesn't show up every night. It's starting to, but they've had tough offensive nights. Talk about Golden State. Golden State really takes them out. So they got to go through Golden State to win the ring, for sure. They have to. So that's my biggest concern. And what I like is if you can bring defense to a defensive team, that allows it's like kind of evening out things, right? So if you have, it's like almost like MMA. If you got a good striker and two good strikers, they're going to stand up, and it's going to be a long game. It may go to decision. It evens it out. You got a jiu-jitsu guy and a striker. The jiu-jitsu guy gets a striker on the ground. It's an advantage, and that makes it interesting. When you have a defensive team as good as Golden State, and then you're a team that is not good on defense or known for defense, but you bring some defensive pressure to them, where do you win? Who has the better offense, right? There's a push, and the offense will squeak it out. Fever wins every time on offense. So that's why I'm hoping they have a very good defensive strategy against Golden State next time. They need to learn. Rachel said they need to learn how to defend without fouling. How many fouls they got? They had 27. They had a lot of. I guess they had a lot of fouls tonight. I think it was 20. The Valkyrie. I'm losing my mind. I got to stop. I'm just pulling stuff out of the air. The Storm. I think they shot 27 free throws, so I can't disagree. There's too many fouls tonight. I can't disagree. But a lot of it was kind of in garbage time, honestly, where they were up by like 15 and, there was a little run there. So it's hard to say. But yes, you cannot win by giving. You're not going to win all the time by giving the team 27 shots at the foul line. But if you score 105 points, 110, 123, it kind of evens out, kind of. Kevin B said, peace out, John. Gotta wake up 4 a.m. for the gym. Well, first of all, Kevin B, you're not going to the gym. Second of all, you call me John. Third of all, I can outbench you. But anyway, have a good night. Thanks for jousting. Kevin B's man. Rion says, agreed. It's about winning. 100%. It's all about winning. When you watch my live feed, I will give you the intangibles that goes beyond the game. And it's about winning and things like that, right? Chemistry, the politics of it, those things are very important. Coaching, all those things are important. It's just as important as somebody putting that rubber ball through a metal hoop. Let's see here. Okay, well, I think we're in great shape. Guys, you're amazing. Guys, thanks for joining. Tonight, we are in double digits on YouTube. Still, thank you. Guys, you've been great. Let's just wrap it up. Let's do the commercial. It is 11 o'clock. Darn it. I haven't eaten yet. I got to eat some food. Okay, so When's the next game? Somebody tell me. Charles Lee, good to see you. They need a trade for a big that will anchor their defense. Charles, thanks for joining. We've been talking about it a lot. It's a great thing to want that. But what my thought is, what big players on the market, right? They're very rare to have a very good big player. You could get somebody off somebody's bench, but I mean, what good does that do you? So you tell me who's on the block, right? And today I was looking at the trade rumors, nothing substantial. WNBA's got small rosters. You don't see blockbuster trades much at all. Let's see here. Somebody tell me. Oh, next game Friday. Thank you, Anna. I knew you'd find it. You guys are so quick. Okay, guys. So next game Friday versus Portland. Thank you, Rachel. All right, that's going to be fun. Portland Fire. That's a winnable game, but they played the Fever tough.